Grand Lake Health System proudly presents an NKTelco sports production of high school varsity girls soccer action. Here at Wapakoneta High School's Ryan Field, it will be the Ottawa Glandorf Titans taking on the Wapakoneta Redskins. Tonight's game is brought to you by American Trim, First National Bank, Keyhole Pizza, Winners Quality Meats, NKTelco, Frost Roofing, Hometown Opportunity, the Minster Bank, Kleinchen, Precision Strip, Schwederman's Pharmacies, and New Knoxville Supply. See a beautiful pitch here at Ryan Field as we get ready for tonight's game. Mike Kern and Dean Jackson. And Dean, the end of the Western Buckeye League season. Two teams on different ends trying to prove big things here before they get into the tournament.
Well, there's no question about it. This is a couple teams that are looking to get things going right as they head into the playoffs. A final tune-up. One more game after this one for Wapak. One more. This is the final game for OG. And Mike, I'm going to be curious to see what Wapak throws out tonight. Just as they get into that, trying to reach that peak before the playoffs.
You look at Wapak, third loss in the last four matches on Saturday to Liberty Benton, 6-1. Their coach said we connected at times, but we weren't consistent enough to play a powerhouse team. The Titans have seen Liberty Benton as well. They didn't go so well for them either, but they beat Kaleida on Saturday, 7 goals. I saw that game. They looked absolutely phenomenal. They'll look to try to continue that here in their last go-around before the tournament, and you couldn't ask for a better night.
Well, you can't, and I don't think there's ever a bad night when you do a game at Wapak, because that's what the fire is. That's just how it seems to be here. We've got a couple teams that have really struggled to get a winning streak going. Wapak likes to get some momentum as they head into the playoffs, as we mentioned. OG, it's been a frustrating season for them. There's just no way around it. For all intents and purposes, frustrating for both teams.
I talked to Chris Pedrasky, the head coach at Ottawa Glandorf, for a little bit earlier on. Tell you about what he said as this game goes on and how his team approaches that. We've got starting lineups and our keys coming in just a few when we return here to Ryan Field and Wapakoneta on NKTelco Sports.
At Grand Lake Health, we offer urgent care services within Joint Township District Memorial Hospital. Upon arrival, each patient is greeted and healthcare professionals assess the level of care required. Urgent care services extend your access to quality health care, complete for non-life-threatening problems. Our state-of-the-art facility and host of diagnostic and treatment options allow you to receive the treatment you deserve in a timely and courteous way. Grand Lake Health Systems, the highest quality health care for you and your family.
American Trim's story started in 1951, and our long family legacy continues today. We are a third-generation family-owned business with locations in Sydney and Wapak, and we're hiring for manufacturing positions on first, second, and third shifts. Part-time and full-time positions are available for entry-level and skilled individuals. Please apply at www.amtrim.com or in person. American Trim is a proud sponsor of high school sports and our communities. Come be part of our story.
Back here as we get ready for the starting lineups, you see the Wapakoneta Redskins and the OG Titans. You look at Ottawa Glandorf, 4-8-1 on the year. They've kind of had an up and down year. Beat Bluffton to start off the year, dropped a couple with Swanton and Millbury, won a couple, dropped 2 more in league play. Beat Van Wert 14-0, then dropped 6 straight, had a tie, and they beat Kaleida on Saturday to get here. Their starting lineups brought to you by American Trim is Lauren Siefker, the junior defender, 4 goals and an assist, wearing 2. The Titans' leading scorer, the junior, 18 goals, 8 assists, and Kelsey Erford wearing at number 4. Lauren Diller, Emily Horseman, and Ella Oakley, the 2 defenders and a midfielder, 8, 9, and 10, will play big roles in the Titans' midfield game. Maggie Verhoff and Alexa Portman, 14 and 15, have done well in that same vein as well. The 2 scorers up front in Lily Hazelman, the freshman, 7 goals and a pair of assists, and Clara Beach, 8 goals, 5 assists, whereas 21 coming off of a performance of 3 assists on Saturday. And between the pipes for the Titans, you see there in the green jersey on her way by Abby Warnicki, the sophomore, with 88 saves on the year. And the Wapakoneta Redskins starting lineup brought to you by American Trim. You see the 4 seniors in the red. Nikane Ambos, the sophomore, wears 2. Elizabeth Gessler, the junior, wears 5. Corinne Wilder, 6. Taylor Jenkins, 4 goals and 3 assists on the year. The junior midfielder wearing 7. Katie Lisi, 15 goals and an assist. Just a sophomore and will likely be a name you'll hear a lot throughout the course of this one. Maddie Lousy, the senior midfielder, 11 goals, 6 assists, is kind of the spark plug at times for the offense in the midfield. She will wear 9. Cami Lenhart's going to go study at the University of Cincinnati. The senior wearing 14. Ellie Setledge also will go study at OSU, wears 13. Allie Wilson in between the pipes, Hayden Lawrence and Caitlin Widebean, the rest of the starting lineup for the Redskins. And Dean, you look at the keyhole piece of keys for tonight's game and kind of how this one, and the coaches think this will shake out.
Well, OG has to control the ball. They've got to make good passes. They got to make quick, smooth transition passes. At the same time, they've got to apply lots of pressure on Wapak. They have got to put the heat on throughout the entire game. Force errors, pretty classic soccer right there.
When you look at Wapak on the other side, see what their keys are.
For the Redskins, they want to mix it up. They want to be creative in the attacking third. They want to continue to put pressure offensively as well. And it's all about winning the midfield for the Redskins.
Today's game brought to you by Grand Lake Health Systems, and just about ready to go as you see both teams ready. And you could not ask for a more beautiful night for the regular season finale in the Western Buckeye League. 70 degrees and sunny just in front of 7 o'clock. Just an east wind at 6 miles an hour.
And I was just getting ready to say that. That's a way to run a railroad. Get your game started before the actual start time, about 3 or 4 minutes before the slated kickoff.
See the Redskins in the home Reds. And I always love, again, my favorite part is always the shoe game. Wapakoneta might have actually given OG, for the handful of times I've seen the Titans here, as they get the first kick and Wapak on the attack, might have given the Titans their first loss in the shoe game this year.
And we've got a girl with orange, a little pastel orange, and some blue.
So it's
really
the
mixing it up.
Redskins on the attack first, and you look at the way that the composition of their season's gone. It's pretty much every other wins and losses as the attack and the creative works out quickly. Now Wapak out on the attack, right back, and a shot that hits off the hip of Emily Horseman.
And they get it back. How awesome is that if you're a Redskins fan? You get a shot like that.
Maddie Lousy with the first shot, misses wide left. That'll be a big leg from Abby Warnicki, and the flags across the way directly from us where they have, I love the idea they have on the fence with the 4 seniors to use the cups to create their initials and their numbers. But there's not a lot of movement on those flags, and these OG girls have got good legs.
Yeah, don't get it confused, though. There is a nice little breeze that's blowing through here.
Ball rolls back through the box as the Titans try to clear. They had a game on Saturday I talked about. They won 7-0 at Kalida. Second straight year they've had to play there. This one, the scheduled version, but last year with not having their own field available to use due to Mother Nature. It was a very aggressive team. They were able to shut down Kalida's lanes, and they haven't been able to do that through the first couple of minutes here. Wapak has been able to get up right through the middle.
Mike, what I'm seeing for Wapak right now is, they're making the right passes, they're making the right plays, but at the same time, they're not conservative about it.
Kimmy Lenhart got called offside, and the Titans have just crossed midfield once so far. And this is a team with a lot of talent, but they lost 6 of their top 7 goal scorers from a year ago. Lost Aaron Kaufman, was a big part of the soccer program, and you've got to kind of stem that tide, and they've got that with Kelsey Erford. You see leaking out on the backside, the captain for the Titans, as Wapak takes it right back away. Ambo sends one way down the pitch for Taylor Jenkins. Jenkins from the right side of the box. Her shot is up and into the back of the net.
I like the confidence on that play because they knew the anticipation, knew each other's tendencies. They knew where to be.
Thank you, Verhoff. Now with the goal kick here for OG. Yeah, freshman with a goal and 2 assists. And that's what the aggressiveness we talked about on the Wapak side in our keys to the game. But OG has done that where they've been able to push up throughout the course of the year and get long runs. Clara Beach is one with the ball right now. You've got to watch for if you're Wapak. Now with a crossover in the box, tried to send it over to Alexa Fortman, just did not have enough on it. And OG's pressure again on Saturday forced Kalida into 3 mistakes that essentially led to 3 own goals. They would love to have that happen here, but they've got to get out ahead of Wapak right now. And Katie Lisi out on the run from the corner.
Yeah, nice job of getting out there for that. I think she would have liked a few more options rather than just that shot.
Kind of got caught in the middle of nobody was running with her, trying to stay onside. Just had to turn and send one up towards the keeper. So nightfall beginning to descend. The moon has been out for a while as we get later into October. Tournament's going to be interesting because you've got Wapakoneta, they'll play here at home. OG will play at home. They'll play on the football field. They'll play Paulding on the 15th, and the winner of that game gets Liberty Center. Wapak's got one more game on Thursday where they go to Anna. You see the moon I was talking about, just trying to get his screen time.
Do you think in Wapak they have an extra appreciation for the moon?
I'm inclined to say yes.
I would say so.
Given the connection, obviously, to Neil Armstrong, I would imagine. As now Erford out on the move, tries to bring it back towards the middle. She's got a couple of players running with her. As Wapak, though, like I said, we talked about closing down the lanes. Hazelman back out looking for Beach down into the corner. Clara Beach, beautiful lead right back inside, but the turn, not enough for Alexa Fortman, the freshman. Had a goal on Saturday. Nearly had 2, because it's the hardest thing to try to credit own goals of who's the closest.
I really like that shot, but Mike, I get a feeling she was just a little too fast in sending it.
She's going to likely be one of the big scorers for the Titans the next couple of years as you get a replay brought to you by Winners Quality Meats. You see, this is exactly what Dean was talking about. Just turned on it a little too much inside the right foot.
You know, she certainly has her goals this season. She's got 4, she's got 11 points overall. I mean, she certainly has all the tools.
Wapak back again in the slow roller, misplayed. As that dive for Warnicki, she did not necessarily time it out quick, but the goal kick, I thought she touched it, to be honest with you, but again, it's hard to see from the angle.
I thought she did too, and I, like the rest of the crowd, we were all holding our breath to see if it was just going to have enough trajectory to roll in.
Get a look at the replay. That's why we always go to the Winners Meets replays. Watch, here's the ball crossing in front.
I'm not so sure.
I'd be honest with you, that ball changed direction in such a way I thought maybe she might have, but Wapak back on the attack, miss off to the left side. So she's got to try to stop the duo of Lisi and Lousy. Maggie Verhoff with another goal kick, and again, she's got a good head for how to set the offense up normally.
I'm not so certain that OG has really played the offensive game that they want to have get things started yet.
Wapak has been pretty close as now. Here is Erford, sends one out across. Beautiful lead for Beach. Out across the run, 1-on-3, dribbles through left foot, back of the net. And Ottawa Glandorf with a 1-0 lead on a beautiful pass up ahead from Kelsey Erford on the assist, her 9th of the year. Just a lead to Clara Beach for goal 9 and a 1-0 Titan lead.
Nothing but excellence on that play. And OG was challenging, Wapak was challenging the whole way.
You see Beach on the Winners Quality Meets replay. Right about there. The left foot up and in. So her first goal in the last handful of games, but again, she's coming off a 3-assist game on Saturday. Has put a lot of her assists in the last handful of games. And Ottawa Glandorf, in a span of about 5 minutes on Saturday, got 3 goals. That's what they've been able to do. Kelsey Erford had 2 of them in a span of a minute and a half. And they were able to get up in front as a ball off the right of the foot for Warnicki. Titans take the lead just outside of 33 minutes. Not a lot of throw-ins here so far, by the way. Millie Recker getting the start today for OG in place of Aubrey Schnipke, who started in that midfield defense role on Saturday and has done a lot of it. Sent down Verhoff, gives a fight working with Lacey back down to the corner. Turn back towards the middle, off the middle of the Titan defense, and they work behind Alexa Fortman. She can get down there in a hurry, and OG's got numbers here as they go 5-on-3. But kind of a lackadaisical ball that Ambos able to put a stop to. Out for Erfurt, and the keeper has to come out to play it for Wapak. So Clara Beach with the first goal of this ball game. Again, her 9th on the year. Team's back towards midfield. OG comes up on the chase. Wapak does a good job of clearing it. That ball, I thought that was going to go out both ways, really.
Oh, well, for sure.
Back out up top for Lauren Siefker and Ottawa Glandorf. So the Titans continue to play with Oakley. Wanted to send it off to the right side. Wapak again able to step in front. It's Cami Lenhart. Now I'm kind of surprised she didn't really try to take that herself. She had a long lane down the left side.
Well, I'm a little surprised that the Redskins have kind of gotten a little lackadaisical, as you say. They're just not as aggressive as I thought they were in the first few minutes of the game. I mean, and I understand that you've got a lot of soccer to play, but I just don't see them challenging the way I saw that in the first 5 minutes.
Right now, though, OG, the aggressor, as they miss on that shot that rolls around the right side. First 10 minutes coming up and gone. Big week for Wapak. Last week, football team continued to win. They continue to be ranked in the state. So right in that top 8 of the computer rankings that came out. Now Erfurt sends one over to the right side looking for Ella Oakley. Oakley back into the middle of the box off a Wapak defender and back towards the middle. Titans out to Erfurt and tripped their way over across the ball. It hit the back of a Wapak player in Taryn Meyer, the junior.
And we're getting dangerously close to another OG goal.
Dangerously close to that being a handball because when she put her hands up, sort of reached back. That's how OG got their second goal on Saturday, because it was a ball that a young lady for Kalida put her hands up right at the goal line. Erfurt put one in as you get a look at the replay here. Oh, it did go right off her back. She just, when she put her arm up, that's it's not happy when your team kicks one right off you. On the long run again, here comes Wapak with Katie Lacey round to the left side.
Had the opening just for a moment.
That big left foot steps in and is out. It's a good one too, though. Again, you look at Katie Lacey and Maddie Lousy, 31 goals on the year, and that they've produced between the two of them with their feet as the Titans make a pair of subs to bring in Olivia Fenbert, the freshman, and Darian Manning, the senior. Been a big fan of Manning, too, the last handful of years, being able to watch her because she's not the biggest player on the pitch, but she continues. She'll go in there and mix it up with anybody. Titans back into their defensive third. We talked about Wapak needing to be creative here. Rolls off to the outside, though. Just not able to put good shots, high-quality shots on goal right now.
And the other thing, too, is they're not getting a lot of red jerseys near the box or inside the box. They're just taking solo shots. What's going to happen there is you're going to get the shot, but the chance of it rebounding back to you, you getting another look at it, not as strong.
OG has been able to open up the lanes on the other side as down will go Alexa Fortman. Reason, though, she was helped out as the ball out on the run. Headed up for Beach. Beach now out in front of the box. Aubrey Stipke with it sent away for OG between Cami Lenhart. The fans down low are arguing with the announcement of who the foul's on. It's nice when you get a foul called on you, you're on the bench.
Exactly.
That happens to us. We get calls down here.
And Mike, off soccer for a minute, how many times do you go to a game and somebody's not on the roster that's supposed to be on the roster or vice versa? No matter how many times you check the roster, the number's not right?
When I'm going to watch or when I'm calling the game?
Either.
Those are two different things. Because when I'm calling it, I notice a little bit more. But OG now with a ball that, well, they tried to attempt to roll through. Hazelman. He's got a big leg out there, and you see the bright highlighter cleats. Another ball that turns and just rolls off a shot from Kelsey Erford. It's right to Allie Wilson, the sophomore keeper. For Wapak, 6-7-1, but to answer your question, probably more than I would like.
I'm telling you what, there is no excuse for it, and it still happens. No matter how many times you ask, hey, is this your most recent roster? Yeah. It's not.
In other Simpsons news, old man shakes fist at cloud. There's a quick play, and oh, wow, great save. Wait till you see the replay for this one. I don't know how Abby Warnke knocked that down. I thought when she dove, she might have went past the ball, but she might have corralled that with her leg. That's we talk about getting shots down deep. Watch this one. She did. She stopped it between her knees.
Hit it on the
That's
outside.
a heck of a stop.
The outside ankle.
Again as Warnke takes a dive. Back out comes Wapak. Chip shot and the roll in. Ties the game at 1 at 26-27.
Just a great play for Wapak, finding the opening when the goaltender's out of the goal. Pretty hard to stop a ball from getting in there when you're not there to stop it.
There you see the stop initially. Now the defense tries to help out, but the shot up and in.
And probably not even the best shot of the night, but
Who was the goal? Who scored? Okay. And Jenkins was the assist? Yep.
So a couple of shots here on each side. Wapak ties up the game. Look at this senior class. 2017 won the Western Buckeye League with a 9-0 record. Ended up being a district champion. That WBL title, the first one in school history. Went to the regionals last year and would like to go back this year, but their tournament draw coming up. I'll tell you about it in a second. Line drive right to Abby Warnke. Start their tournament at home on the 14th against Lima Senior at 7:15. Winner goes to Anthony Wayne. Not an easy place to win. So 1-1, 25-40 left in the first half. Here comes Wapak again as they roll one off the left side, and their shots start to mount up now. And this is kind of a thing about how teams have beaten OG. In the Titans' wins this year, their lowest goal scoring output is 4. But they've got to get to that point. You continue to put shots and shots and shots, try to wear out the defense.
well, they're certainly on that roll right now.
Oakley back in for OG. Olivia Fembert out here near the midfield is a big shot. Wind up and a miss left for Maddie Lousy. She's not going to get cheated on those shots.
It's kind of like the Redskins are shelling the goal until eventually it softens up and they can get that spot.
Well, it's kind of interesting. About 10 minutes ago when OG scored, you said OG now has become the aggressor because it seemed like Wapak was playing back a little bit softer.
For sure.
2 or 3 minutes since that goal, it's kind of been the other way around. So the lights are on across the pitch, and it's, again, a beautiful night here in Wapak. Ball kicked down to the corner. It'll be the first corner kick.
And what I think the Redskins are doing, and it's not that uncommon, you take the shot to set up other shots.
So Wapak with their first corner kick. Maddie Lousy sets it up. The senior midfielder here on senior night. You see the flag right next to her, not doing anything at all. The flags across the way are straight down as well. High boot out near the front half of the box. Not cleared out initially by OG. Quickly put a head into it and sent it back out on a long run down the sideline. Titans trying to get the runner. They've got one onside in Erford. Long boot for her, and this is now a great lead and a great stop. I was wondering if Olivia Fembert was going to be onside for half of that. She gets a shot right off the hands of Allie Wilson, the keeper.
And that was an interesting way of saving it.
Just that Really, she didn't have a choice. As fast as it
Right, that's all
was
she could
coming
do.
at her. Ball kicked across the touchline in a Wapak throw-in. That's one thing there haven't been. That's probably only about their 4th or 5th throw-in here in the first 20 minutes. It's kind of a dangerous ball for Lousy out towards midfield. Nobody really moving. Now the red jerseys in action. And again, going back to something Dean said earlier on, they weren't getting a lot of team runs like they are now. Up into the box, and Warnke dives just in front of the defense and Lauren Seeker.
You know, at the point that I said that I don't think Wapak had taken 4 shots on goal. Maybe only 2 or 3. Now it's just boom, 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 boom.
Beach on the run, working against Gessler on the defense. Playing a little 2-man game, trying to get it back. I can see Chris Podrasky across the way. He's not a happy camper, along with his assistants, and trying to get something back on the other end is Wapak as they try to turn in. Warnke comes out and makes a brilliant save, but that ball continues to be put into the air. Credit Katie Lisi for not giving up for Wapak. So a tremendous replay here. This is a dangerous play for OG, right front half of the box. Keeper comes out to try to make the play. Shot right up off her elbow. And right here is where I was saying. Lacey kicked it off the, really off the side of the hip of Maggie Verhoff, and it saves a goal for OG. Wapak now takes it back away as the shoulder bump for Maddie Lousy.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way around it. OG really isn't in their game right now. They're all, I wouldn't say panicking, but they're certainly not calm.
Titans will play Paulding in their first round matchup, and it was interesting to hear the coaches talk about the way that seeding works. There's a lot of teams like to play slower with the higher grass. OG takes it and avoids kind of a couple of those teams early on with where they are in the placement, and they get to play at home.
That's a Paulding team at 0-14, but is getting stronger, and they had a lot of injuries. I mean, and just a very young team that's getting a lot better real quick.
Titans with a 6-on-4. Not able to turn it into anything, though, as it's taken away from Ella Oakley. Back comes Wapak just outside of 20 minutes left in this half. And another long lead, another strong run here coming for Wapak, as they're able to get out to Warnke, and she makes another save. 88 on the year coming in. And a story about her, as you see her with the ball right there, she was not going to be their keeper coming into this year. An injury going in forced their original keeper in Ashton Oakley to be out for quite a while. She's got 19 saves after 62 a year ago. And she's done a wonderful job. Just a lot of it has been not necessarily great defense at times.
I find it interesting that we have Warnke, who's still listed on JV on the game program.
Well, she's been playing big for the varsity. Wapak now out on the run behind Rainey. She's got a handful of goals on the year. She crosses over, sends it back, and just a little short kick for Lisi.
And for the first time in recent memory, they had 3 players, they being the Redskins, had 3 players on the perimeter. One on the right, one on the left, and one in the middle.
Titans had a game where both their keepers played against Salina. They lost that game 3-0. Warnke played the first half, and then they switched, and Oakley played the second half. That was kind of her first game back after her injury, and Chris Podrasky wanted to make sure, all right, if something happens, if we need her, we've got 2 capable goaltenders. Right now, though, she has been under fire for a better part of the last about 10 minutes or so. Wapak will get the throw in for Maddie Lousy deep down the left side. You see her disappear and come back with the ball. The long throw back towards the box, headed back across the back line. OG will let it go. I always love those plays, too, on both sides, because as OG makes a substitution to bring back in Lily Hazelman, you get that kind of almost I'm buying this play. I'm going to make you think I'm doing it. I'm just going to let it go. Titans with the kick at 18:30. And trying to get the captain and Erford going. Defense steps right in front, and Corin Wilder takes it away.
You know, we talked about in the keys to the game, controlling the midfield. That's what they did right there.
Titans with the lights on bright, and I can't get over the fact that you see it on the picture. It is about as beautiful as you can get right now. Long ball. This is going to be a runner that Erford will just try to hope that Wilson will make a mistake, and she does not. See the bright yellow and the red. Erford also missed a couple of games. Sat out that Salina game, and I believe she sat out the loss to Bath as well. Missed 2 games with sore ankles. And if that's going to be your striker, you want to make sure she's as healthy as you can get. Crossover on the lefty lead down towards the line. Riley Pack brings it back up. And it'll slowly roll for a corner kick. That's 2 for Wapak. OG does not have one yet.
It would be interesting to see, I don't want to say time of possession, but time on half of field to see where it's at. OG certainly, clearly, has an overwhelming advantage right now.
Wapak trying to make that a little closer as Lousy rolls the give and go right back to her. Now she'll put it in motion. Big right foot. That's a great bend. And Warnicki got her fingertips on top of it just to be able to save that one. That didn't start out that way. What little wind there is kind of picked it and it sailed, and you can see Warnicki's face as the replay. Just watch the bend on this one. Starts straight and right about there. Starts turning, and Warnicki at about 6 feet able to get her fingertips on it. So now the third corner kick for the Redskins. Their goal coming at 26-27. OG got the first goal at 33:05. Low line drive sent right back to where it came by the Titans. Up into the box, the header, and a roll down to Warnicki again. You can see the dirt all over her. She's going to leave here a couple of pounds heavier with the Wapak dirt.
Absolutely.
It's a knuckleball out towards midfield. Right back for Wapakoneta as the Titans and Erford give chase from the midfield. Olivia Fenbert trying to help her team get something going. Here comes Ottawa Glandorf's attack behind Fortman. Out to Fenbert, and the freshman giving chase down into the corner as the players meet. And a goal kick coming up for Wapak. Wilson will take this one all by herself as you get a look at the replay. There's 2 players going for it, and OG on the slide. Fenbert gets her foot down underneath and takes Ambrose down with her just for good measure. Kind of one of those where 2 players meet. Is off the inside of the foot for Erford and back for the Titans as they work back to the middle. Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's not exactly what you want to have happen, have the ball take you out.
Millie Recker took out Darian Manning. The problem is they're on the same team. Manning went to corral that one, and it got her. Even folks from OG are laughing down across the way. Now Fenbert, who's played a much better game. This is, up until this point, a smart play. Ambrose gets the foul there. It's a direct kick for Ottawa Glandorf at 14:25. Will come from the right foot of Maggie Verhoff. Verhoff's got a leg. Big right foot sent. It just tails away and knocked down. OG had a chance at it, but again, great positioning by Allie Wilson.
Mike, as many times as we've done soccer together, I always ask the question, it's interesting the timing of when goalkeepers come out and decide to challenge a ball. Right there, it could have been really, really bad news.
And here you go, you see the replay. Watch this ball continue to sail. Titans look like they're maybe going to have a shot at heading it. Ball rolls through, and right there for a split second, you'd think Alexa Fortman's got a chance to put it in too. But everything that she would like to do is stopped by Allie Wilson. Diller and Beach back in for Chris Pedrasky, his second go-round as the coach at Ottawa Glandorf. Stepped away for a couple of years and The team went down to Columbus a couple of years ago. They got down to the state semifinals. Won the Western Buckeye League, had a handful of tremendous players on that squad. And he's got a couple of them in his coaching ranks now, too.
Take the draw.
Wapak now with the ball. That was not the give and go they were looking for. Went off of Cami Lenhart's foot and across the touchline. Stopped on a long run for Clara Beach. Ambo's fighting for the ball. Titans take it away. Is over towards Hazelman. Went to turn on one, and Wapak just so quick, able to get in front of it. Now Wapak will try to turn a 3-on-3 into an opportunity of their own and go back to what you said about time of possession. It was OG for a good portion of the last however long as a bouncer right to Warnicki from Matty Lousy, but Wapak has stemmed that tide, so to speak, and they've spent the last couple minutes as the aggressor.
Again, I was a little surprised by that shot there, especially when there was no one there to pick it up after the goalkeeper got it.
And it's kind of a hard one, too, though. With that extra bounce as the keeper, you kind of have to wait back, as you saw the Wapak coaching staff there as well.
I like, too, that we've got one of the sideline folks on their phone. They're at the middle of the game. That just tells you how cell phones are today.
Probably tweeting. Coach Mike Four over on the opposite side. Now just about 12 minutes left in this first half, tied at 1. Goals that came about 6 minutes apart. Glandorf on a strike from Clara Beach. Then Wapak was able to put a redirect right back in. Each team has had multiple opportunities. Here comes Erford now across. Great foot by her on the lead for Hazelman, who's got to turn inside out to try to get away from Elizabeth Gessler. The ball into where you see the Titan Junior Varsity. They tied Wapak 0-0 in the JV contest earlier. OG had a chance in that one, too. I was talking to Coach Podrasky, and they went on a run with about 10 seconds to go. But again, Wapak stepped in front. Took care of that. I believe Wapak unbeaten in the junior varsity ranks with a couple of ties. So now 10-5 or 10:50 to go. Samaya Lopez in for the first time for OG. Misses left, but it'll be looks like a corner kick for the Titans. So OG will march to the opposite side. As it'll be Clara Beach. Takes a lot of the corner kicks for the Titans. Kind of a weird season for them. They went 0-5-1 in a span after their last win before last Saturday, nearly a month. Got outscored 23-6, despite the fact they were coming off a 14-goal win.
It's amazing.
Soccer's a funny game. Yeah, not always funny, ha-ha. 10 minutes to go here in the first half. Headed right back by Hazelman, back for the Titans. Again, Wapak steps right in front of the passing lane. And are trying to turn it in, and it's amazing how quickly they get from the outside of the right half of the circle for us into OG territory. Not this time around, though, as the ball rolls into the box. You've got to play back and trust your defense. Terrific positioning on the opposite side. It'll go for Ambos. She's saved a couple of different plays so far. OG now, if they're going to score, might have to do it from pretty far outside the box. Wow.
Yeah, they've ratcheted it up pretty good.
And speaking of that, the young lady that has enough leg to be able to do that, in Erford turns on one, sends it up over the goal. Wilson has gotten a little bit of a reprieve in the last handful of minutes in terms of being under fire. Titans tried to head it, went up over. Right back to him, though, is Beach down the right side, puts one up front, trying to drop it for Lauren Siefker. Here comes Wapak behind Lousy. See what they do with it on their first possession across the middle of the circle in a while with Rainey. Nice long lead down to the left side for Cami Lenhart. Big left foot for her, right in the middle of the box. But at just the last second, would have hit a rock. Was able to turn away.
Looks like fall in 26.
Just a terrifically beautiful night. I think it rained the last couple times I've been here. Erfurt, this is going to be interesting because a long run for Seeker and Erfurt. Wapak able to get in front. Seeker tripped up and just kind of an inadvertent thing on both sides. Here the Titans with Hazelman. Went with a crossover, got bumped. OG's got massive numbers right now, though.
This is the equivalent of a long stretched volley in volleyball. This is the equivalent of two teams just battling it.
That is Ella Oakley with the shot. They'll say Wapak did not touch that, so it'll be a goal kick. It's a pair of substitutions. Audrey Fallen, the midfielder, you see right there into the game. It's her first foray here into tonight's contest. But that is a dangerous situation that Wapak just escaped from. A couple of balls bounce maybe once more, it's probably 2-1. Credit to them for being able to get themselves out of a sticky situation. Off of Beach and a throw in for the Redskins at 7-10. Lenhart will throw it and it's stolen away by Ella Oakley. Here comes the Titan attack. And I love when players come in and make an immediate impact. That's exactly what Audrey Folan did right there.
A little instant impact.
650 as it's sent down near the one dark spot right near midfield. Right where the subs are, and OG with a 3-on-5. Will try to turn it around. Down as Erfurt will give chase into the corner. Bumped she and Ambos. Sent back into the box, headed out for OG. Seeker keeps it on the attack. I think 3-on-1 back the other way, and Wapak's not going to get cheated on this hustle. She doesn't get it, but I love Katie Lacey's hustle.
The Redskins have an uncanny knack for turning it up just when they need to turn it up.
Get right around that corner, too, as we come up on 6 minutes. Went from Corinne Wilder, the junior defender. Back through is in off the foot of Rainey. 5 goals and 3 assists. She could strike it as well. Now back to her. Good lead back to the left side. And a pop fly out to the middle. And Warnicki ran right through the middle of 2 red jerseys to save that one. That's one you talk about, when and where does your keeper come out to play a ball. That one was perhaps the most dangerous she's had in a while. Erfurt leads it way out front for Seeker. It's taken away by Ambos for Wapak. Ambos able to clear it back out in front of Seeker and send it back across midfield. Another lead for OG as they have 3 players within nearly the same spot. Erfurt's got room to work across the corner, but Ambos just will not go away from wherever OG has the ball at.
21.
Beach back up front. Titans now with it on the turn. Kicked right through the wormhole, 3 different defenders. And here is a big run again for Wapak. That's a question about, are they going to be onside? The answer right now is no. Hey, Lacey offside, and you could hear some folks were giving her some instruction from the crowd.
Yeah, she was really in a bad spot. There's not much you can do. Do you just let it go to the opponent? Of course not. I mean,
there's a lot of discussion too about whether she was or was not. OG will bring it back across midfield at 4-1-9. 1-1. Thanks to goals at 33:05 and 26:27 for OG and Wapak respectively. Titans give chase with Fenbert into the corner. Wapak leading the corner kicks 3-1, but right now, OG, again, selectively aggressive. Both teams have traded that for periods of time in this contest.
like you were talking about, folks giving suggestions or their interpretations of play calls. I'll let you talk here for a moment.
As you lead out ahead, I can't wait to hear the end of this. Titans now cannot afford to get caught shoving in the box as Wapak works back through the midfield, initially cleared away by the Titans, but Folan able to keep it alive.
I love the red jerseys right up in front.
Ellie Setledge with the lead for the turn, and you were saying?
Okay, well, someone said with the shortage of officials in all sports, we need to create a system like we do for the jury system in courts. So you get your name in contention, and you have to call games. So what it does...
As far as the parents?
Yeah. And so that would change the complexion of how people challenge plays if they actually had to do it.
OG now with a big windup on the right foot and the bouncer for Ella Oakley. Yeah, it would be interesting because it would be here's the rule book. Go ahead and tell me what you thought it was again before today.
Yeah.
Be a lot more, we're not picking on every parent. Obviously, there's selective groups. Titans with a missed kick on what could have been a clearance. Ball sent back towards Hazelman now for OG. Down the left side, just in front of her own team's bench. Sent back for Wapak. 2:15 left in the first half.
2:15.
Subs waiting to come up.
Subs in.
Subs now on each side.
You got both Wapaks.
Wapak will bring in a
Lousy
pair of
team,
subs.
too.
I'm a little surprised that the score is still 1-1 because just the
Hereford with a great lead up front. Out to Hazelman. Back out for the Titans. If they could get to Hereford, big wind up here and great defense. Redirect, though, finds its way into the goal from Lily Hazelman. And the Titans are back on top 2-1.
You were talking about long-range shots. That's one of them.
Again, I've seen these Titans a handful of times, and if you look at the trio of Beach, Hereford, and Hazelman, they can strike from nearly anywhere, and they prove exactly that here. As a minute 43, Hazelman puts in her 8th goal. Gives Ottawa Glandorf a 2-1 lead as we get, at some point, we'll get a version of that replay, I would imagine. But that was a strike, and again, that was about as well set up for OG as you can get. Beach now, and you said, I'm surprised it's still 1-1. About 15 seconds later, that came to an end.
Exactly. You know, from my mouth to the players' ears.
Ooh. It's a dangerous kick from Lousy. Now as her offense goes down the left side with a minute 15. Good little fake and a crossover for her. Footed back, though, by the Titan defense. Down to the corner. Big left foot. That had to have caught a Titan defender. It looked like it was Fenbert maybe back there that was able to get her foot off of it. Actually, sorry, it was probably Megan Recker or Millie Recker. Millie Recker seems to, you see 19 there, seems to sort of be limping a little bit. There's a lot of action in the box.
OG has been dodging bullets. Yet another one.
Keanu Reeves is proud of them right now, Matrix style. So 2-1 OG, just about 30 seconds before the half. What has been interesting, and I'll get the talk at the half for stats from soccer people much smarter than me. And see what this looks like. But 15 seconds ago, OG up 2-1 before the half. Salina leading Van Wert 6-0 in other games going on. Final 10 seconds. And my, oh my, what an interesting first half we've had. Both teams kind of stuck to their keys and at times were driving the car perfectly. We hit halftime here at Ryan Field in Wapakoneta, and this game proudly brought to you by Grand Lake Health System. Halftime, Titans on top, 2-1 here on NKTelco Sports.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
Schwiedemann Pharmacies began serving the people of Auglaize County in 1916 when Urban Schwiedemann purchased the building and business from J.H. Hoffman. The New Bremen location is one of the longest-running pharmacies in the country, with over 110 years of serving its patrons. Since then, 4 more stores have been added: Coldwater, St. Mary's, Minster, and Wapakoneta to round out the group. Our services include prescription refills, home medical equipment, nursing home services, customized compounded medication, vaccinations, and so much more.
Plygem Residential Solutions is part of Cornerstone Building Brands, North America's largest manufacturer of exterior building products, and the success of our company is directly related to the contributions of our employees. We are currently looking for machine operators, maintenance technicians, forklift operators, and more to join our growing team at our facility in Sydney, Ohio. Plygem offers competitive pay, a full benefits package, as well as opportunities for bonus pay and long-term advancement. Become a part of our strong foundation.
Welcome back to Ryan Field here in Wapakoneta. Tonight's game brought to you by Grand Lake Health Systems. They've got a good one so far. Ottawa Glandorf on top 2-1 as we take a look at our halftime statistics. And a lot of things pretty close to the same. Each team has had opportunities in this game, Dean, to where they can break out. But it's 3 corners, 2 of those right in a row for Wapak. Not a lot of difference so far.
No, there really isn't. And that was one of the things that I remarked, that I'm surprised it's still a 2-1 game, but also...
Well, you said 1-1 and about 15 seconds later it was 2-1.
Well, that's what I mean. I'm surprised that it's still just a 2-1 game. My idea didn't change, just the score. But, you know, and this is a story of a game where OG had fantastic goalkeeping. I think that may be the storyline of the game, just the ability to Warnicki just to be the sweeper back there to catch anything, or maybe the magnet that just caught anything that came near her.
And she's creeping up on 100 saves throughout the course of the year. And like I said earlier, if you didn't see the first half, you can go back and watch it thanks to the beauty of our on-demand on the NKTelco Facebook page, that you can go back and see this game and every other game throughout the course of the year. And it's just that same thing. She made a couple of chances to come out to get balls, and it's right now 2-1 as OG. Let's see how they look here on their first possession coming out of the half.
It's been a tale of just how that 5-minute span has been. These have been teams that have sometimes maybe taken, I don't want to say taken plays off, maybe not as aggressive as they would be.
But it is, yeah, you know, you go back and forth. The temperature has dropped a little bit. You can feel it during the half. Each team with different thoughts on the long sleeves. OG traditionally has worn them. But a beautiful night as OG now on the attack. Last year's game, 2-1 in favor of Wapak. So we sit 2-1 right now as Wapak tries to get a through ball and goal on the offensive for the first time. We got a goal in the first half from Ellie Setledge to even things up at 26-27 off a lead from Taylor Jenkins. Titans got a pair of goals, one from Clara Beach and one just before the half from Lily Hazelman. You see down there chasing the ball on the defensive side. So OG switching and heading out to the north. Wapak trying to score here on this southern end of the field. And I love the continued fight between the OG defenders and the strikers. There's one right on cue, and that started out with an interesting trajectory as it came down.
And that was no better symbolized when we had a breakaway type play, OG one-on-one. Wapak caught up with them, a tackle. They were still fighting after they got knocked down. That was with about 13 minutes in the first half.
Hazelman with a lead across it, just missed the right foot of Kelsey Erford, the junior and all-conference player in a couple of sports for the Titans. Jokingly, her mom told me last week when the Titans had homecoming about her sore ankles that she had to wear high heels, and she said, I hope she can walk in them and not injure her ankles. She's going to need those, both for the rest of the soccer season, whatever that means, and for basketball, which, by the way, practice starts in less than 3 weeks.
And let's be honest, it's hard for ladies to walk in high heels as it is without their legs being sore.
Respect. The through ball, almost the nutmeg, back out Hazelman. Now going to change directions, waits to see if she can get some numbers. On the drop back to the right side, out ahead. Here comes Beach, right foot up in the middle of the box, shoved out of the way, and a ball that rolls through her on the defensive end. That is Gessler again, who has been a pest, a thorn in the side of the Titans' offensive opportunities. And that's what I love about soccer right there. You can turn your defensive or your offensive opportunity, just dump it out and let everybody make sure they get back up there.
It's kind of like a reset.
Hereford's ball reset by Wapak now as they lead back down to the sideline. Up and off the inside of the right cleat of Katie Lisi. Trying to get up to her. Long ball, though, will outrun her right down the line. Those are fascinating with how everybody mows to see how that's going to stay just inside that line.
And it's amazing how they're able to keep it in while they're swooping off to the far side, curling around.
Titans will get another throw in. It'll come from the junior in Lauren Diller, an assist to her credit this year. It's actually in the last game against Kalida. Now zooming out across, good lead to the right side. The crosser rolls all the way for Katie Lisi. Just couldn't get that. You don't get that extra stop to set yourself. You've got to make sure you try to do your best on the run. So the Titans get a goal kick to come off Verhoff's right foot. Low line drive sent right back towards her in the front of the box, and a much better kick the second time around. OG now with the lead out, trying to get it to Hazelman. Out on the run, here comes Lily. Long runner for her, 3 defenders in tow as she tries to cross over. Right foot back up to Beach, who miskicked it with the left foot. As it kicked right back to the midfield where OG is waiting. Again, another one of those. It's kind of a shame for the Titans. Wapak has had them as well, where that ball doesn't necessarily land how you want and get the kick you want. Wapak back through the middle of Alexa Fortman. Titans the aggressors in the last 60 seconds now as the first 5 minutes gone in the second half. Trying to work pretty much exclusively through Hazelman.
Mike, I've struggled over the last 5 minutes to get a theme of this period of the game, and I think that's appropriate because I think both of these teams have struggled to find the appropriate theme for these 5 minutes. The cat and mouse game, the chess match, as it were.
Big thanks to all the sponsors for helping us bring you tonight's game. Our presenting sponsor in Grand Lake Health System. Our starting lineups brought to you by American Trim. See you there on the First National Bank scoreboard. 2-1 OG. Just outside of 34 minutes left in the second half. Winners Meats supplying our replay. We'll have our NKTelco player of the game in just a bit as well, along with the folks at Frost Roofing and Hometown Opportunity. Titans will get a throw in here, as we also want to say thank you to Minster Bank and Plygem, along with Precision Strip, Schwieterman Pharmacy, and New Knoxville Supply. Right now, though, I don't know where the Titans were there on the defensive end. Just for a split second, it seemed like they were a little confused in goal. Warnicki was looking. I don't know if she's got a drink over there or where she was at. It's back to the opposite side comes Beach for the Titans.
And just as well for the Titans because I don't think Wapak was ready for it either.
Just kind of an awkward play. I was looking down, but when I looked up, it was kind of a scattering play on both sides. So Wapak with the long lead down the right side, trying to get something as they feed back to the middle and watch it roll. Titans will kick it off the run down towards the touchline and just in front of the Titans crew of coaches down there. Talked about Chris Podrasky when he was gone, was an assistant for the team for a while. Got just a terrific group of players come through, but now a Wow. Let's hear how hard that ball hit. Erford trying to get involved in the offense, sent down to the grass. That'll make her mom thrilled. Not rub some dirt on it, rub some Tide on it. Hazelman with the crossover, foots one out front. On the long lead for Erford, it went right back through. And easily into the hands of Allie Wilson. OG at 5-8-1. They sit near the bottom middle of the Western Buckeye League at 2-5-1. Wapak right in a log jam in the middle at 4-4 in the league, 6-7-1 overall. They're the only one of the two that has got a remaining regular season game. They go to take on a pretty good Anna Rocket squad on Thursday. Usually right near the top is Anna of the WOSL. Hazelman trying to turn on one. See it roll there on the give and go. Nice little play for Beach and Hazelman. They've got a 2-on-4 to the Titans. It's footed down ahead for Erford. Doesn't believe in the bright shoe game. But tell you what, with the way she plays, she doesn't need any extra attention with the cleats.
Yeah, she's doing fine just how she's doing.
Ball up off the head of a Wapakoneta player on the ground. Back for OGs. They send up into the box and kicked out across the touchline. A throw in for Ottawa Glandorf at 31-25.
Michael, I'd like to see OG be a little more intentional with their passes. I'd like to see shorter passes. I'd like to see them kind of set up some set plays.
Trying that kind of catch and go. So Titans now again will throw it in after a pair of subs. Taryn Meyer, one of the captains on the defensive side, back in for Wapak. Hazelman with the low line drive up into the box. OG in the box and a player down. Immediately able to get right back up, though, for OG and Alexa Fortman.
I don't think that OG in this half has any shot yet that is really what they wanted to take.
Yeah, they've had a couple of shots near the goal, but outside of that, like you said, they're not really the shot you would write home about. It's just kind of the theory on, and you talked about it earlier. It's like basketball coaches will tell you. If you're going to pass up a shot, make sure the shot you get is a better shot. They haven't had that yet here in the second half. Erford shoots one up front, looking down into the corner for Darian Manning. Manning will fight, and that ball hangs up right on the line.
Tell you what, Manning has had no trouble keeping up with any defender.
There are very few defenders that she will have problems. That girl has got speed for days. Now right up on top of the ball, but also kind of one of those things where sometimes because of that speed, you overrun the ball. Back to midfield now. Wapak for the first time in a couple of minutes trying to get up on their lead. Knocked down by Lauren Seeker for the Titans, and here comes Hazelman again. See what she does this time around. Foots one with the left foot down, and that might have just been an opportunity to just break some things up.
Again, that's a situation where I think they should have gone with a shorter pass, maybe something to the middle, see if that's going to set up, create the Wapak defense to make a reaction. But instead, they sent it straight ahead.
Wapak at home this year, 3-4-1. They're +1 coming into today. They're even now in terms of goals scored and goals allowed on the year, both at 31. Also, and I was talking again to Chris Podrasky earlier on, OG's coach, and he said, you know, he didn't necessarily realize that Wapakoneta had been or become a D1 program, and they'll get Lima Senior here in their tournament.
Yeah, that was one of those things as we're looking at the tournament. It was a little bit surprising, but of course, it was announced. We just kind of forgot about it.
Trying to keep up with all the numbers for enrollments is sometimes a little bit different. Seeker knocks it back down for OG. Titans up ahead off the foot of Fortman. Fortman now with a big line drive. Off one bounce and nearly misplayed into the goal.
A deep breath from everybody as that shot just bounces away.
Wow. That's something.
That's one way of putting it.
I did not know how that was going off the bounce, but the Titans will get their second corner kick of the game. And it'll be the captain and Kelsey Erford as she pulls up the socks and adjusts the ankle brace there that you see. Kels ready to go. One Titan in the box, 3 now on the rush. Up on the header, turned inside by Fortman and across the goal line. Goal kick for Wapak, so on 2 occasions in that possession, they skirt disaster. Because the way this game has gone, you kind of look at it and you go, a 2-goal differential either way, as good as each team has played defensively at times, that's a long road to try to get up 2 goals.
No, and I would agree. I don't think there's anybody here that would think that 2 goals is easy to overcome.
Left foot, and there you go. There's your second goal. That one coming off of the left foot of Darian Manning. So Darian Manning with the goal for OG at 27:07. And you get a look here on the Winners Quality Meets replay. This is just that, like you said, not many players that she can't outrun. And that one actually tapped by the keeper, finds the back of the net.
Like the little engine that could. She keeps plugging along, and she got a shot.
So that opportunity to see what we were talking about at a 2-goal lead goes for OG just pretty quickly. Darian Manning's second goal of the year. So a senior that doesn't necessarily get the accolades that a lot of her senior class teammates do, but big goal for her there to give OG a 2-goal cushion. Titans fight for it behind Beach. Good foot up ahead for Wapak, but just redirected, and that's kind of the story now. It was the other way in the first half, Dean, but kind of 2 Titans now wherever Wapak wants to go when they try to transition from about 10 yards to the left of midfield up to the other side.
And I don't see the Redskins really doing a whole lot to create mismatches, to create opportunities, to build on a sense of urgency.
So that goal coming at 27:07. And I can tell you there's not a lot of happy people across the way. OG with the throw-in. Coaches are not happy. Probably fans are not happy unless they made the drive from either Ottawa or Glandorf.
You know, and it's not as if the Redskins haven't had their opportunities. There was a span where when they were firing shots, they were firing them. Warnke was coming up with it, but you got the feeling that that was only going to last for so long.
Yeah, and Warnke had to make 2 big high saves, and this one she has to decide whether to come out in front, in front of the oncoming Katie Lisi. She ultimately makes that as one of her better kicks all in the night. Goes off of Hazelman rather. Smile on her face most times as she had one there. Wapak trying to get it back through. Just a good stop by Beach, right on top, as it's sent back into the box, and Erford just gives chase, just kind of a, hey, let them know you're there sort of thing.
Mike, I'm not sure why Wapak went away from the barrage attack, the rapid-fire shots.
Hazelman with the lead. Back down into the corner for Erford. On the turn now. Stubbed and sent back down. Wapak with the steal down. Here you go. This is the opportunity with a player running down behind on the right side and even going down now. Trying to turn something. Ellie Setledge had the goal earlier on. See if they can get it back to her.
I'm a little surprised they didn't call the foul, but they were closer than we were.
Back to the right side, and miscommunication kind of between Jenkins and Lisi leads to, I don't ever want to say a wasted possession, but not in terms of how they started that possession.
It wasn't their best effort.
This is just another ball that rolls into the hands of Warnke. So Titans on top with 24 minutes to go. As the through ball, OG's just needed to kick this one away. See if they were able to clear it out. It'll roll back towards the touch line. Just in front of us at 23:50. Titans trying to make a pair of substitutions. Again, their wins this year. Their goals, they had 8. Wapak had 8 against Bell Fountain. When you look at OG, started off with a 4-1 win against Bluffton. Beat Elida 4-1, beat Columbus Grove 7-0. Beat Van Wert 14-0, beat Kalida 7-0. They have gotten big outputs during their wins. But when they have not been able to stop teams, it is just like you said, the barrage has another turn, and Wapak doesn't seem to have that same kind of oomph in their shots like they did in the first half.
And I think, that's just the story of the second half. It's a loss of focus.
Wapak sitting at 4-4 in the Western Buckeye League. Again, this is obviously important. You look at the league and the way that it has worked out through the course of the year, but you've got another game to kind of get yourself situated. You'll have a very good Anna team that has scored a ton of goals this year, but it is important to get this thing right before the tournament. City pouring chalk in for the first time for Ottawa Glandorf. 22:18 left in the second half. Wapak with it back to the left side as they foot one through with Michaela Bailey in for the first time. Back to 21-50, 3-1 OG. One big difference, a one goal here in this one. Coming in the second half. Here's OG on the right side for Hazelman on the dribble with a left foot. Bounces one that takes an extra bounce, cleared out. Nope, Amaya Lopez up there for OG had a shot at it. The Titans able to keep it as they scramble back up to the ball.
Titans were really battling for their life right there. Obviously didn't want a second goal for more than just because it would pull to one. The Redskins, sorry.
So that's, there you go. Get it out of there. That's exactly what happened this time around. But yeah, you're right. Just a possible disaster. What would be a 3-goal lead? It's gone from 2 all the way out as the Titans not really being threatened right here.
And 20 minutes left in this one. And again, Mike, we've got a Wapak team that's really got to test its mettle. It's got to really dig deep and see what they can come up with here. Down 3-1. And right now it's just about OG controlling the ball. OG, as we mentioned, will now, as they open up the playoffs, will take on Paulding. The long shot, just tapped away.
He's trying to fix this.
He's trying to fix stuff.
From distance. Corner kick. That plug was bad.
So 1940 now. Sorry, I was trying to fix some technical things, and that's how it goes. Give your screen power. That's always important. Like you said, it's fascinating to see exactly what each team will go forward, but you've still got 20 minutes of this one, and as we've seen throughout the course of the years, the 2-goal leads are not insurmountable. You've just got to catch a couple of breaks, I would think. OG after a couple of substitutions. Now, that's a weird ball. Rolls right off of midfield. Get a look at the pitch here. It is bright when it is illuminated with the lights here. Junior varsity contest at 5, and then as we get later in the month of October, Lima Senior will see that when they come here. It is beautiful, but it is bright in this facility. There's a shove just outside. Half the fans will always be not happy.
I really like how OG has become a more defensive team over the last few minutes.
11 versus 5 down there.
So another ball that'll roll down into the hands. And again, not trying to beat a point, but you look at the shots that Abby Warnick had to stop in the first half, they were a lot of rockets that have come back to her. This time around here in the second half, she's had maybe one that is really kind of, she's had to make a huge play on. And that, a credit to her defense for being able to shut down the lanes and stop what we talked about in our keyhole piece of keys of the game for Wapak about their offensive creativity.
Yeah, for the creativity that they wanted to bring, they had it for a while, but I haven't seen it maybe even in the entire half.
Cindy Poranchak, who just came in. There you see one of the captains for the Titans fighting for the ball. 3 goals on the year and 1 on a redirect. I believe she actually got credit for a Kalida own goal in the win on Saturday. So the Titans now back with the ball as they traverse across midfield. Near 17 minutes left. They'll bring up a trio of subs, and a lot of what Dean was just mentioning about OG getting a lot more defensive in this second half is Chris Podrasky has done a good job of bringing in a lot more sort of defensive players into his midfield.
Wapak is kind of after that shot, that would-be goal that Warnicky was able to tap it away about 5 minutes ago. They seem to take a lot out of them.
Again, senior night here in Wapakoneta as they honored the 4 seniors. And Maddie Lousy, Cami Lenhart, Ellie Setlich, who's got the Wapak goal, is going to go study psychology at Ohio State University. A very smart young lady. And also, Caitlin Weidenbein also going to go study psychology, but I heard her say she has a pre-med focus. Horseman into the game for OG along with Ella Oakley.
Mike, a little trivia for you. Know the difference between a psychologist and a psychiatrist?
About $50 an hour.
One is able to prescribe medicine. The other is largely a counselor, while psychiatrists can counsel and do. So I'm guessing that's the difference between the two.
That's your Dean Jackson fact of the day here on NKTelco Sports.
I wouldn't quite say fact, but that's kind of an observation, okay?
Factoid of the day. Is now, again, down around 15 minutes left in this one. Wapak needs, again, you never say in soccer they need a goal because they're down 2 goals, but you need a good offensive set here, a good offensive possession to kind of get into OG's head of, yeah, we can do that too.
And you're absolutely right. It doesn't matter what the sport is. You don't think in terms of, okay, the end product. You think of all the parts that make up the end product.
OG around the corner, and here comes Darian Manning again. Manning is one of those players I love to watch because she's a spark plug, and it just seems like whenever a game is over, she's going to end up exhausted.
You know, and what she's like, and you're going to love this observation, it's like when you go to the beach, you go to the lake in the summer, and you see those bugs that are on the top of the surface, the water bugs that just skim everywhere. That's her.
She's got another foot on one. Sends it back into the middle. Wapak, though, able to take it away, at least momentarily. 14:45 as they lead down the left side, just in front of their bench. And there you see what I was talking about earlier with the cup signifying the initials and the numbers of the seniors. Again, it's a nice touch. The roll into the Titans bench will be a throw-in for OG. Titans can afford to take their time as that clock continues to tick down. Goals in this game. Ottawa Glandorf by Clara Beach, Lily Hazelman, and Darian Manning. Ellie Setlich has got the one that at 26 minutes and change in the first half tied the game at 1-1. OG, though, was able to add right before the halftime break and take a 2-1 lead. Like I said, with the goal from Manning, just a beautiful left foot job that they have added on since then.
If we weren't in crunch time before, we definitely are in crunch time right now.
Sent down to the side and right back across. And It's been a couple of years since the Titans have beaten the Redskins. A long lead in the give and go is not going where they want. The WBL right now, Shawnee sitting on top of the league with 20 points at 6-0-2. Salina behind them at 5-0-3, and then you've got Bath, St. Mary's, Wapak, Kenton, Defiance, OG, Elida, Van Wert, the rest of the league. Van Wert, the only team yet to win a game, and they were down early against Salina, I saw tonight. So they will end their WBL campaign with no wins. Just one win for them on the year. Meanwhile, as good as, wow. I was going to say as good as WBL has been. How about that hit?
Exactly.
That's a Friday night hit right there. Kane Ambos.
I think she's smiling too after that hit.
Tell you what, she just said poor Derry Manning spiraling. But that's a Friday night hit Wapak gets against Bath. After coming off 63 points against Elida a week ago and a 63-20 win. Ball rolls down to Allie Wilson. I laugh because I can hear the crowd. But the league right now, you look at Kenton, started out absolutely hot, forced OG to make mistakes in their contest, ended up getting 2 quick goals from their forwards. Ended up with 9 wins. You could potentially have, the end of the regular season, 5 WBL teams as a shot stopped by Warnke. Potentially 5 Western Buckeye League teams going into the tournament with 10 wins or more.
Does she ever stop making plays?
I don't think she does. She's, again, nearing 100 saves on the season. Here's Hazelman. Now she's trying to get something going through a pair of red jerseys. Ball footed right back to her. Ellie Settlage has been a little bit everywhere in the midfield. Here's Beach, rolls it off the foot of a defender, and thankfully for Wapak, again, going out across the touchline for Hayden Lawrence doesn't necessarily hurt. But what would have is if she had misplayed that ball, because OG had Beach behind her.
Back, I wanted to say about the WBL, one of my favorite conferences, with the exception of 3 Lima schools close to each other, it has a feel of a college conference compressed with all these metro areas coming against each other.
A lot of long trips.
Right. Defiance, St. Mary's, Salina, Van Wert. I mean, it's city versus city.
Just outside of 10 minutes to go in a 3-1 game. Titans back on the defensive end. Oh, and the crosser, that was going to be a beautiful lead and shot, but just a little bit behind, I think, where Wapak wanted to go. Look at a second chance around as a low line drive. That ball took a hop off the grass for Jenkins, who was looking for goal 5 on the year, and it just kind of skipped and held up.
Yeah, that really had the potential to handcuff her.
And again, I know a handful of games that I've been able to do for OG this year that Warnke has kind of at times been her own best friend in goal, and at times her own worst enemy, where it's been a handful of goals against her have gone because of defensive lapses. But there's a young lady at Kalida named Bailey White who's a goalkeeper. Each one of them take a lot of chances, and I saw it on Saturday. But it's about what kind of chances that you take, and like you said earlier, it's about not what you do, but when you come out. OG with another steal. Here comes Beach. Right foot's one out across. Taken back away by Wapak. They try to set something up on a little stop kick by Maddie Lousy. Maddie now with a good lead out front. See what Katie Lisi can do with this run, working 1-on-1 here against the Titans. Puts one back up front. Oh, and a crosser hit a Titan right in the face. I believe that people wanted a handball on Millie Recker. I don't have a good enough look from all the way across Ryan Field to tell you if that's a thing that's true or not. That is up to the gentleman wearing the bright yellow, and they said no. Porenchuk, great decision. Out to Hazelman. Replay booth says no as well. Lily on the run, tried to stop in a play by Gessler where she kind of realized, kind of tried to hook the arm and turn around. Wasn't going to have it. There are subs here for OG at 8:35. get a look at the replay. Well, I thought this was more face. Yep, that was definitely off the face and the glasses of Millie Recker.
If it was volleyball, you'd call that a six-pack.
She got no hand on that one. The hand was near her right ear. And Kelsey Erford had one of those last year at Kalida that took her out of the game. Girl from about 6 yards away, put it right up in the face. Thankfully, both those young ladies are all right. As Wapak continues to try to add number 2 on the board and get within 1 with 8 minutes to go. Up into the box, fight from a lot of white jerseys. And right back ahead is that ball misplayed, not enough though that OG can really give chase behind Sydney Porenchak. That's a big difference. Wow. Tackling is at a premium tonight on both sides. And I believe Settlage landed awkwardly. They have not stopped the clock or made any movement. Now they will.
You know, that's an important distinction that you make, Mike. You talk about the tackling. It has been a physical game. It's also been a finesse game.
This one was definitely the more physical variety. That's Beach. Wow. And you know, I've talked to enough coaches as they stop the clock just under 7.5 minutes that, you know, they like the fact that games are allowed to be played and teams are allowed to get physical with one another, but kind of at the same time, too, it's about protecting the kids, and you see OG walk away. That's a shot from Beach. The Titans huddle. See Alexis Camarino into the game for the first time. As they go over, and this is not it's not an easy one for Ellie Settlage. As they attend to her, get a big thanks to our sponsors for making this game happen. Our presenting sponsor in Grand Lake Health Systems. Also, our starting lineups brought to you by American Trim, and our scoreboard brought to you by First National Bank. As a well-deserved round of applause for Ellie Settlage, the senior, walking off the field under her own power. Winners Quality Meats on our replays, along with coming up our NKTelco Player of the Game. Also brought to you by Frost Roofing, Hometown Opportunity. The Minster Bank, as you get a look at the crowd, and up here is where we are. You can see Dean and I waving now. But the Minster Bank, along with Ply Gem and Precision Strip, Schwederman Pharmacy, and New Knoxville Supply, along with our Keyhole Pizza keys to the game. And, well, we said aggressiveness. That's been on display for both sides.
No, I don't think there's any question about that. A lot of hard hits from both sides. You know, and I'm always talking about it's interesting, it's fun, it's unique to watch girls soccer because they spare no effort. They are tough.
There you get a look at the flag and the fact that we've talked about all night long. There's not really any wind to speak of, but if you get a look at this whole facility, it's an absolutely beautiful facility here at Ryan Field. They do a great job of putting up with us and taking care of things.
You know, again, that's how it always is for whatever we do in Wapak. And I'm always surprised, but I shouldn't be. Every time I come to Wapak, there's always a Neil Armstrong story. Somebody somehow knew him, or his brother went to school with their grandpa, or was the Sunday school teacher, or whatever. It's just always a fun Americana story when you come to Wapak.
Something happened here between Hayden Lawrence and Lily Hazelman, because Lawrence went down and Hazelman is a little worse for wear. But my favorite story is always, whenever I've gotten to do St. Mary's and Wapak football, is about the game where Neil Armstrong was a sophomore and he was in the band for Wapak, and he was actually out on the field. And just to think about, you know, to put that into perspective about the great things he goes on to accomplish and how proud they should be, and they are, of his accomplishments here in Wapakoneta.
You know, and it's awesome when I come to Wapak, people are like, what's it like to work with Mike Hearn?
Who asked you that?
I'm not going to say.
Scott Robinson? Don't believe him. 6:33 to go in this second half. You just tell him you're just happy when the clock hits 0. That's what you tell him.
I say I pinch myself. I'm pinching myself every day.
Stop it. Hazelman back on that crossover. So whatever, I don't know if it was a Charlie horse or something, but she was able to walk off. And you can kind of see her in the middle of your screen, right about here.
You've been wanting to do
I've
that
been wanting to do that forever.
all season.
But you can see her right there just sort of walk off, and you hope, obviously, for both sides that they get through this injury-free. Not only for OG going into the tournament, and they've got a little bit of rest before next week, but for Wapak, and we talked and we showed you Ellie Setlich, to be able to go through the Anna game and then the tournament as well.
I need confirmation on this. This may have been a historic moment. That first time we've used the telestrator in an action.
And it wasn't even on.
Oh my gosh.
You got to look for the red light.
Oh, so that's why you did it.
I was just showing you. So
see, and I waste all my energy to draw attention to it.
3-1 OG. But it is, and if you can show the wide side of the field in the telestrator here for a second, out towards the OG bench, Lily Hazelman did just go off for OG. As she is standing out across the corner. But now a little worse for wear, and I just watched her limp to the bench. 5 minutes remaining now. Again, we always hope that anybody gets through these games unscathed. There's a ball up into the box, and again, a bump and run. Marissa Rainey sent to the grass.
The Titans doing a nice job of flooding the lanes, clogging things up, more than they probably have all game.
Wapak trying to get a shot, lifts it up and into the hands of Warnke again.
How many saves do you have her for?
Quite a lot.
Okay.
I don't have the actual number. Soccer people smarter than me are tabulating that. But she's got a few.
I would say in the neighborhood of at least 12, 15.
I would say pretty close. Another ball sent back towards the subs. OG will get a throw in at 4:15. Long line drive. Right back towards Ella Oakley. Ball down towards the well-lit corner, and another throw, and OG just continues to march from midfield down towards the corner, throwing the ball in. It's kind of an awkward ball.
Yeah, a little bit of focus lapse there.
Everybody just kind of concentrating on something else. So Wapak now back up front, and he gets not that far away, by the way. The OG Titans have been leading the WBL in volleyball. They've won 30 straight matches. The volleyball team ranked #1 in the state. They'll start their tournament run next week as well. A lot of big things. I love this part of the season where you get the football season's winding down. You start the other fall sports in their tournaments, and there's not much better than basketball is about to start as well.
And we forget just how good volleyball is in this part of the state.
Not if you look at the MAC standings. 3 minutes ago, and I believe I just saw Marion Local lost for the first time in a while earlier on. Wapak right now still trying to figure out how they can put 2 goals on the scoreboard here at Ryan Field in the next 2+ minutes.
Gotta keep going. Gotta make something.
Titan men and Wapak had themselves a big game too, because that was another one, and it generally is. It was a pretty physical contest in Glandorf. So now the Titans continue to try to add.
Go, Taylor.
Just another ball that rolls. Taylor Jenkins up with it as the Titans down into the corner. Beach. Is that ball going to stop before she gets there? Able to get a foot on it. Centers it back over. OG right up in front, and the crosser. No, but the rebound, just too much sauce for Sydney Porenchuk. You could tell she was anticipating what she was wanting to do with that. Kind of a lazy ball that lays right in the middle off a redirect. You get a look at this replay. Watch her wind up right here. Oh no, here we go. Just too much. Off the lead from Ashton Oakley. Kind of how it's gone at times. OG though with the difference maker in the goal from Darian Manning at 27:07. Wherever he's at across the way, in the visor, in shorts. Chris Podrasky is probably a happy individual. Up a minute 20. Up with a minute 20, rather. Up into the box. Titans made a mistake on the clearance. Wapak did not really go after it off the bounce. Lenhart, I don't know if she didn't see it. That probably could have been a shot that they could have had now with a minute to go. Titans with another throw in at 54 seconds. So bounce, Borenchuk nearly got hit in the face with it as she runs in a 1-on-3 down around the corner at 45 seconds. Crosses one back up, and the whistle puts a stop to it. On the handball, it'll be Clara Beach now with 33 seconds. She will march one off, or I'm sorry, Ashton Oakley rather. She's got a terrific leg. There you go. She can't get up over the goal and nearly up near the restrooms. She tried to hit the locker rooms across the way, but the final 10 seconds now. Ottawa Glandorf will win this one at 3-1 as the Titans pick up their third Western Buckeye League win of the year. Take a break, and we'll come back. We'll have stats and more here from Ryan Field and Wapakoneta. Titans with a 3-1 win on NKTelco Sports.
At Joint Township District Memorial Hospital, your comfort and care is our #1 priority. Our surgical nerve blocks are a great way to reduce pain and can be used for arm, shoulder, hip, knee, ankle, and foot surgeries. The nerve blocks decrease the stress of surgery on your body, requires less anesthesia and pain medications, and in many cases can offer relief for several days. Visit grandlakehealth.org for details on all of our services.
New Knoxville Supply Company, the supply source for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. We specialize in plumbing products from many name brands, electrical products from replacing a light switch to rewiring an entire house, heating, air conditioning, and geothermal products, sheet metal ductwork, installations, and service. We are now housing more inventory, so all the hardware items you need to complete the job are available right away. New Knoxville Supply. Stop in, call, or check us out online at newknoxvillesupply.com.
At First National Bank, we are working hard to make your life a little easier. With products like Card Valet, an app allowing you to control your cards with real-time notifications, transaction restrictions, and spending limits. The ability to access your money through 55,000 all-point ATMs across the country, surcharge-free. Live customer support when you need it, and online and mobile banking, allowing you to gain access to your financial information wherever and whenever you like. First National Bank, making your life a little easier.
At CAPT, we use Hometown Opportunity to make sure that when we have a position open within the facility, it gets put on the website.
We've really been excited to see how that has grown so much over the last several years.
If anyone is looking for a job, it's the best place to go.
We really want to do whatever we can to get folks that are from this community back to this area.
I would recommend any manufacturing company that they take a look at it. It's a very good benefit for companies at no cost.
Welcome back a final time to a now cleared out Ryan Field here on senior night. Ottawa Glandorf with a 3-1 win in the game brought to you by Grand Lake Health Systems. You see the score there on the Titans win as we take a look at the stats for tonight's game, and pretty much even for the most part. OG got a couple of really big shots early on as they pick up goals in the first half to take a 2-1 lead from Clara Beach and Lily Hazelman. They add one more from Darian Manning in the second half, and you can see a couple of those shots here, but just a terrific amount of saves by Abby Warnicki.
Absolutely right. I'm just stopping everything that was in her path. I also feel like, too, at times the Redskins really didn't have their most urgent game. I think that took away from it. But you see a OG team that was consistent, and that consistency just ebbed up and up and up, and, you know, and we've hit the score.
Titans go to 6-8-1 on the year, but they finished with 3 wins in the Western Buckeye League. Wapak at 6-8-1. They've got one more game against Anna at Anna on Thursday, and our player of the game for tonight brought to you by NKTelco.
Ellie Sutledge, number 13 for Wapakoneta, picked up her 4th goal of the season.
And it was off just a beautiful lead from Taylor Jenkins. That's the difference, though, not enough. 1-1 as we were until about 2 minutes before the half. And OG able to add on 2 more goals. Big thanks to all of our sponsors for tonight's game. Grand Lake Health System for bringing you today's game, along with American Trim for our starting lineups. Keyhole Pizza, our keys to the game, along with our Winners Quality Meats replay. Our player of the game, we talked about Ellie Sutledge, brought to you by NKTelco. And our First National Bank Think First scoreboard says Ottawa Glandorf 3-1 for our director and Scott Robinson, his assistant and Taylor Wisman, Kurt Kuffner, Xavier Gross, and Josh Miller on the cameras, and Dean Jackson. I'm Mike Kern. Have a great night and an even better tomorrow from all of us here in Wapak on NKTelco Sports.